Hi, hello beautiful people. My name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel, and I am so excited to be doing this weekly vlog today because I am going to be reading Colleen Hoover's book for the very first time. So as I said, I've never read a Colleen Hoover book. I know she has blown up very recently in the last couple of years thanks to Book Talk. People are loving her books over there. I know she was very well known before that, but I've never read anything by her despite romance being a genre that I've always considered my favorite. So I polled my lovely friends over on the Discord from the Citadel about which Colleen Hoover books I need to read. I only listed her standalones because I know she does have a couple of series, I think, maybe like duologies or something, but I only wanted to focus on standalones for this vlog. So I know for sure that I'm going to be reading her newest release, Reminders of Him, that just came out today, as a matter of fact. Then I'm going to choose two more from her backlist. So I took this poll and let them pick which ones were absolute must reads, and I'm going to pick the top two most voted for and read those. I'm going to put up a graphic here, a screenshot of the votes, and you can see already that I don't have Layla listed on there. Colleen Hoover herself didn't even have this listed on her website that I could see, so I know I've heard like some pretty negative reviews about it, and it's not necessarily her best work, so I just didn't add it to the list. I may read it down the line if I really love these. I'm so excited to see which ones I'm going to be reading. I've been wanting to do this vlog for a long time. When I did this poll initially with them, it was back in July of 2021, so it's been like 6 months at this point, and yeah, I thought what better time to do it now that she has this new book coming out. So let's go ahead and look. And again, I have the graphic here, and as you can see, I had Regretting You, All Your Perfects, Heartbones, Verity, Layla, It Ends With Us, Ugly Love, November 9, Confess, Without Merit, and Too Late. Now I know like Confess, Without Merit, and Too Late were some of her older ones. Oh, I did actually put Layla on here. I thought I didn't. Confess, Without Merit, and Too Late are some of her much older ones that probably aren't as enjoyable now, so probably a lot of people didn't vote for those. Looks like Verity, oh gosh, I was not prepared for Verity to be one of the first ones I read. Oh my. And All Your Perfects is definitely, they're the two highest with 5 and 6. And then after that was It Ends With Us, which I will probably read down the road. I might do like a reading vlog separate for that. Wow, I'm going to read Verity. My mind is about to be blown. Oh my gosh. So which one do I want to read first? That is the question. I was actually looking today because I was going to buy Reminders of Him yesterday at Barnes & Noble, but I was hoping it would be out like a day early because sometimes that happens, but they didn't have it out yet. So I looked on Amazon today to see how much it was, and it's actually on Kindle Unlimited. And I was kind of surprised by that, I guess. I kind of think that I want to start with All Your Perfects. I don't want to jump into her newest one first, but I think I want to start with All Your Perfects, and then I might do Reminders of Him and save Verity for last because that book scares me. I know it's got like intense triggers for it. Let's talk ranking of how I think I'm going to enjoy each of them. So from All Your Perfects, what I know about it, it is a sort of second chance romance, but I know that it also deals with infertility, I believe. Tried my best to know very little about these, and I actually downloaded TikTok again recently, and I was getting more information than I wanted to have about the book, so I knew I needed to do this vlog soon or I was going to be totally spoiled, which I'm actually pretty sure I was spoiled for Ugly Love, but whatever. So yeah, that's what I know from All Your Perfects, is that it's a second chance love story, and I believe it deals with infertility, and it's really emotional. And then with Verity, I pretty much know that it is a suspenseful romance suspense. I don't even know what the technical category is, but I'm pretty sure it follows a woman who is a writer, and something happens to her and she doesn't get to finish her novel, so her husband hires someone else to finish it, I think, and she starts reading this manuscript, and it is wild. I've seen like a few tidbits here and there from what people have talked about of it, but I don't even know, like, reading it out of context, it doesn't necessarily make sense. So I don't know I'm on the right track to thinking of what happens in that story. And then with Reminders of Him, like I said, it's her newest release. I haven't really read any synopsises for it other than is a woman who is getting out of prison after being in prison for like 5 years, I think. So based on that knowledge, I think that I'm going to like All Your Perfects first, and then oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna guess Verity next, and then Reminders of Him. I think that's gonna be my ranking, my predicted ranking. We'll see what I think at the end of the vlog, but it's Tuesday now. I want this video to go up Sunday. We'll see how that works. I definitely need to go in now and download All Your Perfects and get started on it, and I will update you guys with my first thoughts. So I have officially read 100 pages of All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and wow, I didn't expect to read it so fast. And one thing I love about going into books, like knowing nothing, the first chapter I was already having some wild reactions to what was going on, so I definitely recommend going in knowing it as little as possible. But what I will say is that I was correct. It is a second chance romance that does deal with infertility, so definitely a trigger warning for that. I knew going in that it had those elements, but I didn't expect them to show up so early, and they are talked about really heavily. Like, it's the main focal point of this story. So if that at all triggers you, definitely do not go into this unless you're in the right mindset for it. What I've learned since starting it is that we start the story out where our couple meets for the first time, and then we go back and forth in alternating chapters to them meeting and falling in love, and then them now as a married couple and going through these struggles. So that alone is a very interesting concept, and it kind of makes everything seem more heavy because you see the relationship starting and all of this hope with their love blossoming, and then it goes into these heavy things that they're dealing with. It just makes everything more heartbreaking, in my opinion. I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy the characters a lot, and I think it's very realistic. We're so far in Quinn's head, who is our female main character. Hearing the way she talks about her infertility struggles it's very honest and hard to read at times as well, not only because of the actual topic of it, but how it's affecting her relationship with her husband, who ultimately hasn't done anything wrong. It's just a really tough book to read, but I definitely think that I'm getting through it pretty quickly, so I think that I could be starting my next book pretty soon. So I am at chapter 23 of All Your Perfects, and I was reading this at work today and got to an extremely devastating part that I did not see coming. It was heartbreaking, and I don't know how the couple is going to recover from this. I didn't expect it to hit as hard as it is. Yeah, I was not prepared. Definitely 100% check content warnings before you read this book. I'm really loving the writing style, and I'm flying through it. I'm already like 63% the book now, so I'll definitely finish it tonight and start the next one. I can't believe that I'm going to be going into Verity after this, because I know that one is like really triggering to some people, so we will see what I have become after I read all of these books at the end of this vlog. So I am very comfy on the couch reading, and I just wanted to say something that's really been frustrating me is that they don't seem to talk to each other. It could be that they have talked like extensively about this prior to what we're reading in their marriage, where they've reached this almost a breaking point. But right now it's very frustrating for me to read, especially with Quinn's inner monologue, where she has these thoughts that she's processing and she's not expressing any of them to her husband, and so he obviously doesn't know what's going through her mind. So I don't know how they expect to resolve anything if they're not talking about anything. This is literally the only time I've ever been frustrated by like miscommunication, basically, but this is like virtually non-communication, which I'm 70% of the way through, so something has to start giving. I think I'm just really eager to see what it's going to turn into. And there's also been mentions of something that's going to be revealed. I don't really know what that is, but it has to do with like a box that they've got. There's something in the box and she doesn't know what's in the box. That's weird. I don't know what that is, but anyway, I'm definitely going to finish this tonight. So I just want to know if there's a resolution. Like, how is this going to end? Because right now it's so hard for me to see the resolution for them. Oh my gosh. I've never like sobbed while reading a book. I've cried, you know, shed a few tears, but I am like genuinely sitting here sobbing reading this story. And then I just reread one of the quotes to my husband and I started crying again. Now I'm just laughing at myself. Oh, okay, back to reading. Good morning. I am extremely exhausted this morning. We've only been going to bed at like 10:30, but somehow I am not faring well with that. I slept a little later than I should have this morning, but I have my coffee and I thought I would talk to you guys this morning while I edit a little bit of my thumbnail for my video that goes up today. I have it scheduled and ready to go, but I don't have the thumbnail finished. So I finished All Your Perfects last night and I am going to be giving it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I definitely was a little worried. Like I mentioned, they don't really communicate. And so I was kind of worried that that was like not going to be addressed. And I just did not see a solution coming for them without that happening, because that's very much what was going on, was just this miscommunication. They both were hurting so much and they weren't talking to each other about it. And it was driving me crazy. I will say that everything was resolved nicely. There was even, you know, some brief little wrap-ups or mentions of other things that I may have had like issue with at the end. Other than that, it was a really beautifully told story. Obviously, it's very heart-wrenching. If you're not in the mindset, you do not need to read it, because you saw the way it affected me last night. And I don't struggle with that, so I can't speak to how accurate the representation was, but I have heard other people who have experienced that say that they felt very seen with the story. So I do highly recommend reading it, but just remember that it is a tough one to get through. Now, I will be picking up Verity today. I don't think I'm going to have time this morning to pick it up like I wanted, but I will probably read it some at work, definitely at lunchtime. Hopefully finish it today, because I need to film a video tomorrow and I have some other things I need to get done this weekend, so I won't really have time to film. So I definitely need to finish Verity today and then jump into Reminders of Him tomorrow and hopefully finish it pretty quickly. So definitely a busy couple of days coming ahead, but after my experience with All Your Perfects, I'm really excited to get into the other two. I'm still a little scared of Verity, still a little bit nervous about that one. Either way, we will see what I think, and like I said, I'm excited. I think I'm going to enjoy both of them, even though I know they're both going to have very different vibes. So I am a little over 70%, a little less than 100 pages away from finishing Verity, and wow, this book is something else. I knew that it was wild from what people would say about it, but I had no idea how far it goes, and it really goes there. So I like promise, please look up any trigger warnings before you ever go into this book. It's hard to say I'm enjoying it, but I can tell you that it keeps me turning the page. Like, I have to know how this ends, and I have no idea where this is going. I have a theory, and then I have like a little sprinkle of another theory that's not fleshed out. I don't know how it would even work, but I don't think that what we're seeing is what we're actually getting. What we're supposed to believe is happening based on the information we're given. I don't think that's what's actually happening, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If I finish Verity tonight, then my plan is to get Reminders of Him on my Kindle and listen to the audio of it, because it's on Kindle Unlimited with the audio included. So I might be doing that later. I don't know. Don't want to make promises, but that is my plan for now. I just knew that I needed to update for Verity, especially for this vlog, because I haven't done that yet and I'm almost done with it. But I have such trouble trying to say that I enjoy it. It's keeping me turning the page. Yeah, I've got to go continue to read. I just finished Verity and I'm giving it 4 stars, because I would definitely say I was thrilled. I was thrilled enough to continue turning the page and see what happens, but I'm very aggravated at the end. For one, it felt kind of rushed a little bit, like everything just was suddenly happening. And then two, it just wasn't satisfying for me. I wanted something a little more solid about it. It just still was very open-ended, I guess. And then two, like everything that was happening was actually more for like shock value, I guess. Like there wasn't anything extremely innovative about it. It's definitely wild, but I feel like it's all just kind of there for the shock of it all. Like you can't believe what you're reading. So yeah, I guess I just don't really have like total thoughts about it, but it definitely didn't bring as strong feelings as All Your Perfects did. So that's why it's getting the 4-star rating instead of a 5-star. So now I gotta decide if I'm gonna start Reminders of Him or not. Tonight, I might start it tomorrow. I don't know. Good morning. It is Sunday, so that means it is filming day. And I need to sit down and make some notes before I film the one video I have today. I did start Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and so far I'm liking it just fine, but it hasn't necessarily pulled me in just yet, and it's obviously very different from the other two I've read, with All Your Perfects being very emotional and then Verity obviously was a thriller. So this one is more of your standard romance. It's also dual perspective, which is great. I really do love when romances do that because you get insight to both of them. I've been listening to the audiobook and there are 2 different narrators, which is also wonderful. But I will say, like, so far I'm not really invested in the characters at all, and I'm very, very early on and they've already met. They're already really like entranced by each other, and I'm not feeling it, I guess, yet. So we'll see how that goes, because I have seen people really, really loving this so far. So kind of sad that I'm not compelled by it yet. And it could be because I'm reading it via audiobook instead of physically. I don't know. I just know that if I don't do the audiobook, then I'm not gonna have time to finish this within a reasonable time frame and get this vlog up, because I wanted to get it up today, but scheduling just didn't allow for that. So I'm gonna get it up early this week and then it'll be fine. But for now, I'm going to read via the audiobook while I make my notes. And then I also wanted to talk about my new water bottle that I got. I was encouraged by my friends in the Citadel to get this specific one, but I will leave a link for it below. But it has the like times, and it's going to motivate me to drink at least like 64 ounces a day. And it even has the straw here that goes all the way down, and you could just drink out of the straw instead of tipping your cup up, because I find my brain is like lazy and I don't want to tip my cup to take a drink of it. So anyway, I'm much more successful this way. I have my breakfast here. I'm going to take notes for my video, listen to that, and then hopefully I will be finishing this today, since I'm listening to it via audio with a sped up speed. So I will be sure to update you guys when I have some more thoughts, and hopefully I start to get a little more invested in what's going on in this story. Hey guys, so I officially finished Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and I really, really enjoyed this one a lot. It did take me a little bit to get invested, but once a lot of the drama and the ink started showing up, it really pulled me in, and I couldn't wait to see what happened, just because this was such a complicated scenario going on in this book, and I don't really want to give anything away because I know that Colleen Hoover makes her synopsises vague for a reason. Obviously, you definitely should look up any content warnings ahead of time, because most often she does deal with a lot of emotionally triggering books. This one in particular especially deals with grief. I think this one was one of the most interesting ones to me, because you didn't necessarily have an overall villain, and that's even mentioned in the story in a quote specifically about how it's just a very bad situation in a scenario where there's not really any bad people. You felt for each one of the characters and you were frustrated with each one of them at the same time. I related the most to Ledger because he was kind of put into the same situation as the reader. He could see this side of these people that he's loved his entire life, and the other side of this woman he has just met and he had an opinion on from the outside looking in for the longest time, and then he met her and it changed entirely. So I just, I thought that this one was a really good story. It definitely did not affect me or have me as gripped as All Your Perfects did. So with that being said, I did rate it 4 stars. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. I even considered lowering my rating for Verity just because I don't feel like I enjoyed it as much as the others. It definitely kept me turning pages, but I just think that that's just Colleen Hoover's writing style. I think that's especially why she's so popular. Her stories are just so easily digestible, and her plot twists seem to be kind of rooted in the fact that she comes up with these scenarios where you almost just can't see the resolution, and then she finds one for you. And I don't know, I really, really enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed getting to know her writing style, and definitely found that she is an author that I will be reading more of for sure. Now, I want to talk about my ratings for the books that I did read. So I think previously I predicted that I would enjoy All Your Perfects, then Reminders of Him, then Verity. I can't remember exactly. I'll put up my rating, but now I'm going to say that All Your Perfects is my number 1, Reminders of Him is number 2, and definitely Verity at the bottom. I even considered lowering my rating to 3.5 for Verity, just because the more I think about that one, the more I'm a little aggravated with it, just because me and that ending just did not sit very well. I really, really enjoyed doing this vlog, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of these kinds of vlogs where I read from authors I've never read before. I really enjoy doing them. I'm also really, really excited to have discovered a new author that I like. I always knew that I would probably like her stories, but it just took me a while to get to this place where I could binge read a few of them all in one go so that I could do a vlog like this for you guys. If you can think of some other authors that maybe I haven't read anything from, or they have a huge backlist that you just want me to read quite a few books from them because you might think I like them, then definitely leave those in the comments below. As always, be sure to check the description. You can find links to my socials there and some other resources, including a website where you can go and find trigger warnings for different books, including the ones that I talk about in this vlog. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!